doing it. It did
Okay,
it.
there we go.
All right. So
Trying
hey
to
guys,
develop a knack for this. Look at you.
we just saw the Sony press conference, if you can call it that, and it was amazing.
If you can call it that.
If you could call it that. Now let's go. We already have our live reactions up. So you can go view that if you want. The audio does not sync with the visuals. I'm sorry about that. I tried to screen share. It was like 2 frames per second. Forgive me, but our audio comes through fine. You just don't need to watch our video. Just listen to us. So
Boy.
yeah, we did our best. It was bootleg though. Anyway,
It was great,
this
George.
is our first reactions to the trailer as a podcast group on our new channel. So congratulations and thank you, George, for making this possible. Give him a hands up, everybody.
And George, if you notice, I made you a moderator.
Look at that.
You get that little sad one clap. But yeah, so we where do we even start? Like, do you want to go ahead and start with the Microsoft conference, or you just want to work that in, or do you just want to get straight to the Sony conference?
Oh jeez. Let's go ahead and knock out the Sony one, I guess.
All right. So they started off pretty weird, I have to say. With DLC, I think. That wasn't the best intro, especially since their sound was really fucking shitty. I don't know what they did.
You mean non-existent?
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
I mean, I didn't need to hear it anyway. I was already sold on Lost Legacy.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to say this on the live reaction, but like, is Nadine's ass better than Chloe's?
I mean, I don't know. You've played.
Would it have made more sense to say that during the reaction?
You'd
No,
think.
I just didn't want to. I didn't want to take away from the moment.
Okay.
But yeah. So what else do we want to talk about? Nothing. Okay. End of stream.
Wow.
Nah. But no,
Tasty.
no, but I did think it was a little bit odd that they started out with DLC packs. For Horizon made sense because like that had been talked about but not really shown before. Lost Legacy, we've seen plenty of it.
No, we haven't.
Didn't they show like 9 minutes of it at PSX?
It wasn't like 9 minutes. It was like a 3-minute thing where you revealed that it was Uncharted.
Oh, okay.
Then they had that little trailer a few months ago.
We didn't see Dick from Vita. I wanted to make that very clear.
Yeah.
Brian, we haven't seen Dick from Vita at an E3 in like
but they've
3
at
or
least
4
mentioned
years.
it. Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't even in their lineup. In that,
I
like,
said that was going to happen.
Like, that's way too soon.
I mean, I guess if you want to count anything, Undertale getting moved to console is going to be on PS4 and Vita, which I imagine, you know, because it's indie and everything, it'll just be cross-buy. You get one, you get both.
I didn't know that it got moved. When did they announce that?
On the pre-show.
Well, okay.
Yeah, there was some stuff they kind of threw out at the pre-show, which, don't get me wrong, it was good that they did it. It wasn't like, you know, thunderous applause good, but it would have helped to have it during the conference as opposed to the pre-show. I felt like that kind of hurt them a little bit.
I mean, those weren't like their like big headliners though in the pre-show. Knack 2, they didn't need to have that in here. Like no one cared.
Even so, because it's weird how I'm trying to explain it. Like, whether people are gonna get it or not, you know, you want to keep people informed, so you know they know that you're producing some kind of content, and to kind of just miss the mark and do some stuff during the pre-show and then just kind of leave it up for grabs during the conference, kind of, it's that thing where it's that thing that I don't like, that Nintendo has the habit of, every time something happens, cool, let's have a direct. But if you're having directs throughout the year, you really don't have that much to show during E3. So you end up with like, a anywhere between 25 to 40-minute direct, because you had one 2 weeks before that, and then you had one a week before that, and then you're going to have one like next week. That
Right.
widespread of information. Of course, this is happening on a smaller scale, but it matters all the same, because I really don't know too many people who watch the pre-show. Some people just like roll in last minute. People on my friends list were doing that. Like, I mentioned Gran Turismo, and they were like, "Ha ha ha, that's a good joke," and I was like, "No, they talked about Gran Turismo."
Like, they talked about well, that wasn't Sony's, but like they talked about the city, and they went more in depth about that yesterday. And you just had to be there. Like, you just had to be there.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how they're doing that, but it makes sense. But I think, Shelly, what do you think about Uncharted?
It's Uncharted. It's fine. It's a standalone title. It deserves to get its own thing because it's a standalone. I think it's going to be like 10 to 12 hours.
So it's how much is it costing? Like $30?
Oh, I have no clue.
Will it this is kind of dumb of me asking, but like, it's only because I don't remember how Infamous Second Son First Light went. Will you need like Uncharted 4 to scoop up Lost Legacy, or you just like...
No, it's standalone.
Okay. Yeah, because Infamous First Light or whatever it was, you didn't have to buy Infamous for that.
Okay, so that was also all right.
Okay, hold on. Uncharted Lost Legacy is $40.
Okay, it's not bad.
That's not bad at all, considering the main game was like 30 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it depends on the way you look at it, because it was a strong showing, like, in terms of, like, I guess that's like the flagship of Sony currently. And they wanted to go in hard with that, I guess, if you just wanted to like grab the audience, but it wasn't their strongest in the lineup. So I guess getting it out of the way first kind of makes sense.
I mean, they grab their eyes. I don't know so much about their ears.
Yeah.
I'm
next
I'm
game
forever gonna harp on that.
Lost Days.
Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Yeah. What
was the game that we saw where... Was that it? The one where the people were hanging from the stage?
Yeah, that was that one.
Yeah.
I was like, is this PC? I was like, can they have this on air? I was like, I don't like this. This is making me uncomfortable.
When they showed Days Gone at E3 last year, I wasn't positive about it. And then I don't think it was at PSX. I don't remember. I don't think
it wasn't. No, it was not.
And then they showed it at this E3. I'm sold on Days Gone.
Oh no, it looks great. And I love like just the sheer amount of shit that it has. And I also love how it's The Last of Us, but better. It's kind of weird how they're one-upping everybody, because I like how many enemies could be on screen and how they were all independently acting. I like how destructible the environments seem to be. Now, that could have just been for that portion of the map, but if you can do that from almost anything, then that would be amazing.
Ew.
Okay, sorry.
I will admit, tech demos scare me.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, look, I need this to still be a thing by the time I'm ready to buy this.
But yeah,
but that Monster Hunter though,
Monster Hunter actually looked pretty good. But their transitions during that trailer were pissing me the fuck off, because it was like every 3 seconds they'd like up like a few shots of it, and just go to a different part in the scenario, but the same fight.
You'll get more time with it. Coverage on the show floor. Capcom is privy to flex.
How long has it been? How long has it been since Monster Hunter's been on the console?
2011.
Um.
I'm looking at it right here, George.
Um.
George, I'm looking at it right here. It says Monster Hunter World will be the first mainline Monster Hunter entry on a Sony platform since 2011.
Okay.
I'm looking at
I
it
was
right
double
here.
checking you. Nah, I'm a double check you.
I'm just not gonna throw out years
Regardless.
like that for no reason.
Okay. I trust you.
I've never played Shadow of the Colossus, but I might.
Yeah, is that a remake or is
No,
that just
dude,
a
that's a
new
remake.
game?
That's a remake.
Because that looks like a remake because it was all the same fucking Colossi.
Looks like it's time to buy that game a third time.
I was like, why? I don't understand it. Like, I get that it's good, and I get that this would be a great time to like reimagine it. But you just had the last Guardian
That's exactly why.
Yeah, that's exactly why, Brian.
to cover up their sales.
In case of emergency, break glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But because I never played it on the PS2, so hopefully the controls will be tighter on this. Wait, was it PS2 or was it PS3?
It was on PS2, and then that had the remaster on PS3.
See, I tried to play the one on PS3. I was like, nope, this fucking sucks.
And then Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite gets a story trailer.
Yeah, I was like, that looks like a clusterfuck.
I do not.
I called everybody out on Twitter.
Yeah, I was like, then Dante happened, and I was like, where's George?
I called everybody out on Twitter. I was like, look, okay, cool. Yeah, we loving Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and we spent like the past 2 days crucifying Marvel Infinite. I bet y'all gonna get on PSN tonight and get that demo, and y'all gonna be streaming by tomorrow morning. I'll see y'all later.
George, not an X-Men in the trailer. Not
that was really funny.
No Gambit, no Jubilee.
No
Where was
Wolverine.
Jubilee?
I don't think except in Marvel 1 and Marvel 2. Marvel 1 I played Gambit, Marvel 2 I played Cyclops and Psylocke, but throughout like all of Marvel 3, I don't think I didn't main a single X-Men character. I fooled with them, but like I don't think I played one, so
it's your fault.
You're right, it's totally my fault.
It's sad that when I think of the X-Men, I just think of X-Men Evolution.
That makes sense.
I always think of Evolution.
And I always feel like that's my main line X-Men that I like.
I just think of Logan now.
It's okay, so does Fox.
Damn. Logan was a great movie.
Well, now they have a new toy.
I want to talk about God of War.
Well, you can't talk about God of War yet. We got Call of Duty World of War 2.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that part of the of this conference.
I know, I was like, it's Call of Duty, I don't care.
Like, I've already seen it. Like, they've announced it already.
No, we got to talk about this. A whole bunch of PSVR games.
Oh, yeah, they did come out with a shit ton of those, including the Final Fantasy fucking fishing minigame. I was like, what the fuck?
I was like,
you had to make a
look.
VR. You know, they teased it by making it about Cindy's boobs. And that was the bullshit part, because I knew it wasn't going to be like that. But then they made the most...
But that was what you wanted, wasn't it?
It would have been nice. But
okay.
They made the most annoying mini game in that entire fucking game into a VR game, a standalone VR game. I was like, they don't give a shit. I fucking hate Tabata. I fucking hate him.
George.
I really do.
I'm sitting here like, oh, look, Final Fantasy VR. Okay, they're fishing. All right. Oh, look,
they're still fishing.
Oh, look, different types of fish. Oh, look, bigger fish. Is this really a fishing game?
It was a fishing game. And I just don't have any respect for Tabata because I know his ass is behind it.
I was a little upset when like I saw it start, and like honestly, I might be wrong, but the trailer had like the same graphical fidelity as the trailer they showed last year. In fact, I'm pretty sure part of it might have been some of what they showed last year.
I don't think it was.
Wasn't?
No, I didn't recognize anything
Well,
in it.
well, see that was the thing. That was the thing. I couldn't for the most part tell the difference. I mean, obviously a lot of other stuff was the same because last year when they showed VR, it was like, okay, Cindy, okay, prompt her with the VR helmet, this and that, shoot the gun, fishing. But like, as far as visuals, it was definitely like, uh. Not that I'm really big on that, but like seeing the kind of steps and improvements Square Enix has made on other games, namely like how everybody is noting the heavy changes between the 2015 and then like this year's trailer for KH3. I'm like, surely they could have taken like a little time to touch this up if they had plans on selling it, if they were actually going to expect people to scoop it up. I mean, if they don't expect people to scoop it up, I guess that makes me feel a little better, but I need to know that.
The Impatient from Supermassive looked kind of lit.
What was it?
Which one?
The Impatient from Supermassive Games.
Oh yeah, the new horror game.
That kind of grabbed me a little bit. God of fucking War.
Right? The part where he's in the room with the treasure and he looks at the chalice and it has like Greco Kratos on there. And
Yeah, I was like, oh, look, it's got the Greco shit on it. That's cool.
What's Greco?
Oh my god.
Greco, Greek.
Oh. I haven't played any God of War.
Right, I mean, it's not even that. It was God of War.
It's like, you know, Greco-Roman.
Yeah,
Greco-Roman such. Yeah.
Yeah.
Descriptive term.
I really wanted to like emphasize like how much better that game looks than 15 in terms of playability and combos.
All right. Well, I'll sit here and read this post from Vasant while you do that.
No, I did it. That's it. I'm done.
While you put Tabata on the chopping block.
I fucking hate you, Tabata.
Okay.
You hate fans, and the fans hate you.
There you go. I'm almost done with this post, I swear.
Why don't you tell him on Twitter? Brian, if you get a Twitter, you can tell him.
But he'll block me like Trump does.
You don't know that.
Camille will block you. Matt
Scoville didn't block me.
Square Enix will block me. I don't want Square Enix to block me. But no, I really enjoyed like how just it's so fast paced now, and that's the thing. Like a lot of these games, and we'll talk about it when we talk about Spider-Man. Like these games are fluid and they're quick as fuck, and I love it. And God of War is one of those titles where you always felt like the brutality of it, and like you felt a lot of weight behind your attacks in every move you made. But in this one, it's like there's like a quick ferociousness about it. And I kept thinking of like, I was like, God, like, what if they made like a Berserk game that was actually like this and not a fucking Muso game? And I kept thinking, I was wondering if this would be what it would look like, kind of. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to just feel like how gratifying each kill seems, because this seems longer than the other games, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know like how much longer, because it doesn't seem to be open world, but it seems to just be more vast as far as environments go, if that makes sense, and not as quite as much as a corridor as the other games. Also, that giant fucking like Ouroboros.
Yeah, that was cool.
George, are you done with that post?
I am. Yeah.
What are you posting?
Oh, I wasn't making a post. Vasant, who is better known in esports, his competitive history in Marvel vs. Capcom and Street Fighter. he made like this very long post about just kind of the possible state of Marvel Infinite, the current state of SF5, and the current outlook on Capcom and what Capcom is producing right now. It's a mix of him like very much understanding why people are like mad and upset and pointing out what Capcom is doing, but at the same time, like, you know, you don't want things to go south, because if you're in esports, this is kind of what you need in order to keep going. The people are kind of what you need to keep going. So if Capcom continues to fail the people, then who boy.
I mean, how long do you think they're going to keep failing the people? And do you think they won't be able to make up for it?
Honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I had plans to scoop up the Marvel Infinite demo tonight and see what it's like, see what it's about, see what it does. I have no way of knowing until the game releases, and even then, just like knowing what Capcom is going to hit us with like, you know, between poor visuals and the whole character pass thing, like they've done with SF5, it's like it's a hella tough shot. So it's almost as if I'm like not putting in any stock into Marvel Infinite, but just like after this, they can't afford to mess up anymore, and I just gotta be hopeful for whatever they do after Infinite drops. Or hope that they, do something to improve on SF5 in the meantime. Because, I mean, it's not like SF5 is dead. I mean, despite all the hate surrounding it and everything, people are still playing it. It's still, like, maxing out numbers at majors. Like, everywhere you go, it's like SF5 and Smash at the top of entry.
Well, George,
feels like you're creeping up close.
Capcom Infinite has Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Look, I know you're memeing right now, but
yeah, but it also has Hawkeye, and he has a family.
I'm sorry, like I forgot that Dante came from wherever he came from, and I memed the fuck out when I saw it, and I was like, George needs to hear this. He needs to be a part of this.
It's like, yeah, of course it's featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, because Capcom made the Devil May Cry series, Brian.
You don't know that.
Yes.
He's learning.
Yes. Oh, I do. I am constantly reminded. Believe me. Anywho, was that all with Sony?
No. Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, all that we wanted to talk about with Sony. I know Sony put up more, but what else?
No, that is definitely not all we wanted to talk about with Sony.
Okay.
Let's talk about Detroit. I got kind of confused because I was like, okay, well, what is this game? Because it looked like it was turning out to be an action game, but then I saw like this could have been different. I was like, all right, well,
I mean,
because the first time I saw the game, I was thinking like, okay, it's like a Heavy Rain kind of thing where you just gotta like,
yes,
well, it is,
Brian. It's made by Quantic Dream.
Yeah,
I know, but it was like it's less than like what they have established in the past. It's more of its own thing, and it's not kind of sticking to the same exact formula. Because
what do you mean?
When they showed us like that whole like demo like at E3, like was it last year or was it PSX that this came out? No, it was E3 last year.
Brian, they showed like 3 different demos with like 3 different main characters in it.
Yeah. If anything, I'm willing to wager that your character catches a permadeath and you just start playing as the next one, because that's something they've done before. You know what I mean?
And that's fine, but like I was just saying, like it started off as like kind of a detective thing where it's like, okay, let's try and talk this guy off the ledge. Like that was the first time I saw it, and I was like, all right, this is what this game is. It's just
that wasn't more. That was just more showing the choices and how they affect.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it was more of a pre thing.
I knew that wasn't really the game.
I did.
I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was trying to say, like, I understand what you're saying now. Like, I get the point you're trying to make.
Yeah, like I didn't know that there was like more to the game than that, and then I saw it today, and I was like, oh shit, like what is this game now? And so I got kind of confused, but now that I get it,
the differences pertain to like their character arcs. Yeah, because the first it was seeming like a detective thing was like, well, because he's a cop, so naturally, and you know, in this
he's
one,
do cop shit. He's gonna shoot black people and everything. Yeah.
Jesus.
No,
robots' lives matter.
I'm not even gonna break character. Yeah, that's a choice you have. And in this one, you know, revolt, uprising. If you saw when people were watching TV, oh girl, Kara from the tech demo 2 E3s ago, not last year, but the year before, who was also in that PS3 demo, PS3 tech demo, just displaying her from way back when. She was in there too. Yeah. That was what satisfied me about this Detroit trailer, because I'm wondering, okay, are they just gonna rehash a new character each time? Are we actually gonna get all of these characters and you have the opportunity to see from different perspectives? And seeing all of them in the trailer wrapped it up for me, and I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied. Now just release the game. Because at this point, well, not just release the game, but, you know, either go ahead and release it or stop talking about it. Because at this point, we've seen 3 different perspectives. And if I see more, then I'm just gonna assume it's like a mini series and not actually a game.
You mean Final Fantasy VII?
No. This game actually exists.
You both said no.
I mean, original 7 exists somehow.
Yeah, it does. But you know,
some people have bought it more than, I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
Me?
Yep.
But yeah, that game didn't show up at all. Anyway, no, Detroit looks good. Like I kind of appreciate like these kinds of games that like push the boundaries of like what do you think is morally right and acceptable, and it also gives you a chance to like actually expound upon like the choices that you make in the game without making it too glaringly obvious. Which is what I liked about Until Dawn, for what I played of it. Like it's your personality shaping your own story, but you're less aware of it. This one you have more of a hand in it. It's not just kind of RNG-ish, and it's more just like it actually like adjusts to how smart or how stupid you are in gameplay, which is kind of what I want, like what I was talking about when I was mentioning like what I wanted from the next Persona 5. I mean, not Persona 5, Persona game. Something akin to this, not exactly, but just akin. In terms of like maneuverability and like malleability with the story and how the game progresses. But I'm excited to see how it plays. I think if I was gonna buy this again, like I'd have to like wait till it's out, and I'd have to read reviews, and I'd have to hear about other people's experiences with it. Because if it's just kind of run of the mill, like whatever, like Beyond Two Souls, it's interesting, but it's not really engaging. I'll probably just leave it where it is. It has to have a really good character, which it seems to have. What other games were at this conference?
There's only 2 left.
Yeah.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2, I forgot about that. I don't remember.
Destiny 2 is Destiny 2.
It's Destiny 2. Like, I don't remember anything about that story trailer.
No one cares. And then the last one was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Oh, fucking my God. That looks so slick. It looks slick as fuck.
I love how it's the Batman fighting style.
Yeah, like they definitely took some cues from that. And I was saying before, like about God of War, like being like quick and like agile now and like fluid as fuck. Spider-Man pushes that to the nth degree. His movements are so good, and I forget like how strong of an actual superhero he is. But this game really does put like that into perspective because he's extremely agile, and just deft and like adept at his own fighting style that he's developed. And moving around because I was thinking like at first it was like a little bit of Batman and a little bit of I said Phantom Pain while he was sneaking around and not doing it. I got some Phantom Pain
No,
vibes.
even the sneaking around's Batman.
Um, that's why I said it was like mostly Batman, but I got some Phantom Pain vibes from it, and I was really excited about it. But I think the cool thing about it, I think, or the thing that like made me the happiest in the trailer was just seeing like how when you're like running from building to building, like when you're swinging around the city, and you don't hit the side of. What the fuck was that? Was that the trailer? Did someone play the trailers?
Put a side-by-side comparison of Spider-Man 2 and this new Spider-Man that's coming out.
Oh, they did?
The similarities with some of the features.
My favorite thing about this trailer was like when you like are swinging from like around the city, when you hit a building, you don't hit the building, you just kind of run along it and you sticky to it. And I love that little touch because that was like one of the big deal breakers for me because I have terrible steering, and I feel like this game is going to push that to the absolute limits because it's a weird way of moving anyway.
Better get ready, boy.
So I really did appreciate like how much they actually gave it to like make it as least like as little like minimally frustrating as possible. Jesus Christ, that was loud. But yeah,
makes me fun.
But yeah, boss fight seemed fine. Quick time events were there. I was kind of disappointed that there were quick time events, but I guess it makes sense when you think about it. But all this is in engine, so it's fine. The older I get, like the more quick time events I see, like the less I am like impressed by them, I suppose.
I wasn't mad or disappointed. I was like scared.
What do you mean?
Well, like I watched and I did some thinking and I took it to 11. So I'm seeing the thing where construction structure is falling or whatever, and he's like, okay, quick time event. Let me strap all of this to this building so this doesn't fall. And I'm like, oh my god, what if you mess up a QTE and then you have to like continue with the consequences? Like, what if that like falls on people and that's something you have to continue with?
The game would be over. Like that seems like the most appropriate response to me. Like if it plays like a Batman, no, they wouldn't have it like that.
You were talking about Phantom Pain a second ago. Phantom Pain, you botch up an aspect of a mission, you got to handle it some other way now.
Maybe it's hard to say at this point.
The possibility was enough to kind of make me shudder.
Yeah, because if you fuck up enough, like it's going to get really frustrating. And as open as the world is, like there has to be alternative ways to like go about your missions, instead of just like a singular intended way. But we'll see. If it really is like Batman, like the Arkham series, then we definitely will see some variability to how you can do it, but still kind of there's like a clear, obvious path that they want you to take. I think it was kind of neat, I guess, because Shelly was the one that like was more hyped about this, like the end credit scene that they did.
Yeah, where they showed Miles Morales.
Yes, screamed, man.
I was like, I don't really understand the point of it, but all right. I
Of
guess
course you do.
you can hype him up. That's fine. Like I know, I realize he's important to the series. I just like it's lost on me.
I wasn't about to hype
Um,
him up. I was about to chastise you. Keep going.
um, but yeah,
Hey, go ahead, George. Chastise him.
Too easy.
the game looks beautiful and it works well. Now we just have to see if it runs this well when it comes out.
I'm sure it will.
Because there's not much I don't know. I'm still kind of skeptical of it because as a whole it could just be kind of a rehash of the Arkham series at this point. But I doubt it'll be.
Ooh,
But at least it'll
having a
be
cross with GX.
a satisfying experience as far as this combat's showing us. Now we just have to see how much variety there is to gameplay.
The thrill, the darkness and silence in the night.
But yeah, that was the Sony conference. No Vita 2. Maybe at PSX.
Nah, no, Undertale.
Undertale's on consoles now. Hooray! I got it free for Steam a few days ago. Oh God. But yeah, I like this conference. I really did. I feel like there was a lot more hype coming into the last one that they had, like last year's, because a lot of these games were just unannounced at that point, and we just saw them for the first time. So I figured that was what was going to happen this year because we already knew what we wanted, and we weren't going to get much new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's mostly what happened. Was like we were delivered more on the nuggets that were being developed, and that's fine. I guess the most surprising one to me would have been Shadow of the Colossus because I did not expect that, but there it was, and that's something that I've been meaning to play for a while. So I'm looking forward to it. The other stuff is kind of like God of War 4. I definitely want to give a try for, or at least try it out, and just see how well it plays, because it's going to be satisfying. But everything else is kind of like hit or miss for me. It just depends on the situation. And a lot of people wanted Kingdom Hearts, and a lot of people wanted Last of Us 2, and they're not coming.
I told you
D23,
I
guys.
told you neither of those games would be there.
D23.
We did not get to see anything from Square Enix at all.
Wait. Square Enix goes at 1:45 tomorrow. I kid you not.
You're shitting me. You told me they didn't.
I didn't from the schedule I looked at after Sony's conference today. Nick went and looked, and he messaged in the group chat, Square Enix at 1:45 tomorrow.
Okay, so I know what I'm doing on my lunch break.
Okay, George, this is what they're gonna show. Hitman. They said, "Hey, it's canceled," and then they.
I mean, I don't doubt you. I believe you.
What time
is
it tomorrow?
1:45 is a very obscure, 11 Central Time. I want to say.
Damn.
Because that would be 9 a.m.
Wait, what time zone is that in?
The 1:45 Nick gave me?
Yeah.
He didn't say.
I mean, maybe it's just 1:45. I mean, because I told you guys that Sony was at 8. I knew that it was at 6 Pacific time. I bet I can give y'all 6.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nick probably just went ahead and was Central Time, 1:45. So
if I wanted to be a dick, I'd give y'all Eastern Time.
You wouldn't fool me. I've lived in Eastern Time. I've lived between both. It sucks. Because where I lived was Central Time, but me and everybody around me went to school and had to go to work in Eastern Time Zone. So everybody just kind of acted upon it, but then the clocks didn't cooperate. So it was frustrating.
I believe it.
Well, the Warriors beat the Cavs.
All right.
Water's
But
wet.
yeah, I think
I
think compared to Xbox conference, I think the only thing that like Xbox like really won up Sony on in terms of like a conference, I'd say, is just the hype behind the console and the idea of having something new and fresh. Where Sony like delivered on the promises of what we want. But other than that, we didn't get a lot of new things. So it's kind of give and take because Xbox doesn't have any games for its like console that are first parties, whereas Sony like is mostly third parties too. So I don't know. There's more exclusive first party games at Sony, but it doesn't matter. I think at the end of the day. So
okay, so this is what I think happened with this conference.
Okay.
Well, one, I kind of thought it would go this way. I thought it would just be shit we saw last year anyway.
oh yeah,
Except with no Last of Us or no Death Stranding, anything like that. So I was pretty tame going into it anyway. But I'm pretty sure they saw Microsoft's conference yesterday, and they probably took some shit out to save it for Gamescom or PSX.
Or Tokyo Game Show.
Or Tokyo Game Show. Because they didn't have to do much to compete with Microsoft's conference yesterday.
Kojima was already like, look, dog, I'll be there, but Death Stranding won't.
yeah.
I'm gonna go and enjoy myself. Don't ask me for anything ever again. Yeah. Square Enix, day one, June 13th at 11:45 a.m. Pacific time, 1:45 p.m. They open up with that, and then let's see, because I'm trying to convert the times in my head in real time. 1:45, their E3 opening. At 2:30 Years of Final Fantasy. At 2:30, Dissidia NT, the 101, then the one-on-one. At 3:30, Square Enix presents E3 2017 trailer lineup. At 4:45, Agents of Mayhem, which the Square's publishing that, I guess. Okay. I don't know when they hooked up with Volition or THQ or whoever is handling Saints Row now, but it's whatever. 5:15, F1 2017. Okay, that's not important. 6:30, Final Fantasy 14, Letter from the Producer. And the rest of the days is Dissidia stuff about 14 and 15, stuff about 12, the E3 Let's Play and Collector's Edition unboxing, a Brave Exvius announcement, the Final Fantasy trading card, which I'm a piece of trash. I said if that ever came over here, I might look into it.
Yeah, I would too.
And a near concert.
So that sounds like a pretty solid lineup. No,
I mean, it's over the span of a few days, but still,
they might have something like a surprise for us at the trailer lineup and just show us something. But I doubt it.
I doubt it.
They're gonna re-show the KH trailer from 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about I was hoping that I'd see something new from them as far as like what they're working on for the next Final Fantasy, but we probably won't get that for a while. I just want the taste of 15 out of my mouth.
You could just play Brave Exvius or Theater.
I do.
Brian, play
I
15
do.
again.
I don't want to. I have to. That's the problem.
Why?
I gotta play it one more time when all the season pass content comes out, so I can like play it with like a fair judgment, like and their version
Brian,
of it's
trust me,
finished.
you went into it with a fair judgment.
I did.
I can
But I
pull up
wanna,
the
like-
cast.
Huh?
I can pull up the cast.
from when we
No,
both finished the game and talked about it.
yeah. And I started off really fair, and then it devolved into like a giant ass rant about how this game was fucking garbage.
I mean, to be fair, you do that. That's your thing. That's your character trope.
I know, like, I just, I really do want to see something new though, because I think it's important that like they learn from their mistakes and like what was good about 15, and they like focus it, like they actually focus their energy into like a new product, because I do think that that was what killed 15, as in terms of like potential, is that they were all over the fucking place and they just had to like go with what they had. And
Well, I mean,
I think that a focused product, like looking forward to the future, would be much more worthy of the Final Fantasy mantle than what we got was.
I mean, by no means do I discredit it as a Final Fantasy game, but that was a very distinct jump going from like a title in a compilation to like a standalone title. But I mean, we've already talked about that.
Yeah.
We don't need to revisit that. We still got some time. I have like an hour to fool with Overwatch.
I also want to like,
y'all can check the cast.
Yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, let's talk about the Microsoft conference just for a little bit. Anthem looks fucking amazing. Like,
oh yeah,
right. I can't wait to play.
When Sony,
I can't wait to play it on my
Destiny, all I thought
PS4.
about was Anthem.
Yeah, I want to play that now, and I want to see more of it because that would be so much fun to play with friends. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Shelly, or George, like if we all got that game at the same time at launch, that would be great, and we could just have CNC bros of just dicking around in the wild. What else looked great? Cuphead. We didn't see anything of Cuphead really, except like a tiny teaser.
We got a release date.
Yeah,
What
it
you
comes out
talking
on the
about?
29th. It comes out on the 29th, though.
Like
Of what?
September.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
They opened up with, because they know this was something that they had already seen before. So I even thought it was kind of funny. Get ready for some footage of a game the likes of which you've never seen before, and then they just go up and cross out never, and it's like, nah, you've seen this before. Here you go. Look at it one more time. You like it? Good. It has a release date now. And I was like, okay, I'm satisfied. I'm happy. My Xbox One has purposes other than KI, Tekken 7, and my 360 games. I'm going to buy Cuphead.
What else happened at the Microsoft conference that we liked? Metro looks weird. I don't care about it. Ass Creed looks good, kind of, because it's Horizon.
I tried to urge a friend of mine that, like, if she was looking to upgrade systems, if she also wanted Metro, just get it on PS4. But, yeah. Anywho.
What other game? They had that pirate game that looked kind of fun.
Sea of Thieves? Nah.
It's like kind of. I wouldn't play it. In concept, it seems fun. In reality, it would be annoying.
It hurt me that I looked at it and I wasn't feeling it, and then they had the nerve to get up on stage and tell me that Rare made that game, and I'm like, what is Microsoft doing to y'all?
Did you see how Ubisoft made a better Sea of Thieves than Microsoft?
By ripping the naval combat from Black Flag. Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah, I think that
they showed they showed a bit of Dragon Ball Fighters, but I mean that'll also be out on PS4 and Steam.
It looks fun, but if you're not into like Arc System games, I wouldn't bother.
It's funny because even people who are like, I was reading through some of the tweets and people were already ready, like, oh, DBZ, yeah, I'ma hop on it. Y'all ain't ready for me. I'm gonna see all of y'all. And then like the people who have been playing Xenoverse for God knows how long were like dragging the game through the mud, and it got screen shared and like sent to scrub quotes for
Yeah.
like all the anime FGC to laugh at. Because people were like, "Oh, this is gonna look easy, all little button mash to win." It's like, I ain't played an Arxis game before, have you?
No, it's gonna be rough.
But no, that's what I'm gonna enjoy. Like a lot more people are gonna get into it, and hopefully, in turn, a lot more people will, just kind of learn something about Arc System Works games, and maybe that'll encourage them to play, Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, Persona, Under Night,
They
Soft
mentioned
Circle Punch
Persona
Break.
tonight.
Old dude was talking about exclusives, and he name dropped P5, and I'm like, man, I bet Katsura Hashino in the backstage just like, I ain't say you could do that.
I was like, Persona 6 confirmed.
Stop.
I would have shit my pants.
We'll get P5 Arena before that, and that's when I burn all the Weeaboo's houses to the ground because they jumped for a P5, not P5 Arena, P5 dancing all night, and then I'll burn the house to the ground. If we get P5 Arena, then, I'm going to cry tears of bliss and happiness.
Oh, yeah,
But-
that'll be great.
But they wanted P4 Dan and P3 Dan before we could even get, like, HD for 1, 2, and 3, before I could have an opportunity to consistently play Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment.
And now we still have one of those that's going to be a shitty port of the game and not like an actual good PSP port.
Yep.
But yeah.
But I mean, we're getting P5 Silver, so that's cool.
Yep. Whenever that happens.
Yep.
So, all in all, guys, this has been an amazing E3, I think, as far as like meeting expectations, but it's not
It's been
Giving us-
E3.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would be so bold as to say shut up.
No, like
Yeah,
I say, it's
no,
amazing in terms of meeting expectations because people are getting what they want, and if that's all you wanted was to confirm your beliefs, that's fine. But like, it's not bringing anything more than that. It's not raising the bar.
I still don't even think expectations are met by like quite a margin. Like it's really,
Oh my god, I can watch the Uncharted trailer with sound.
yeah, like
My expectations have been met.
between presenting and just the lineup, it hasn't really been all that great. Devolver Digital's press conference was the most entertaining I have seen all weekend. And I think I will continue to say that, like, even with my bias, even after watching Nintendo tomorrow, like Devolver did everything I could have wanted them to. And they just kind of laid it out there on the table. That being said, I'm really hopeful that Nintendo not only follows up on a lot of things we were granted like at the Switch presentation and like directs over time, but just like kind of some new things to pull out and to get us looking forward to.
Yeah.
Something to close the year out with nicely.
Well, I think that's all we have for this conference and the Xbox conference. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about Nintendo and Square Enix if we get anything like special. If it just, we'll leave it up to our discretion. And we may not even do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I'm
heads
going
up.
to hit up this Marvel Infinite demo. I don't have class tomorrow, so provided I don't have a lot of errands to run, I may stream it if it's streamable.
Stream it from the channel, bro.
I don't even think it's there yet.
It's not. It supposedly was supposed to supposedly was supposed to
Well,
be
anyway.
up in an hour ago. Like they were like available now in the conference, but it's like nah, it'll be such and such time in the UK, which is like 10 p.m. here or whatever. And I'm looking at people's statuses and comments and stuff, and it's looking like it's still not even up. So I'll play
Yeah.
Overwatch and grind the last of these loot boxes
I mean, like
until it's
I went looking
time to go
on
home.
the app, and I didn't see it.
Hmm. Yeah, it Capcom probably dropped the ball, and it will not be up till tomorrow.
Well, guys, it's been a fun stream. I'm glad we could experience this time with you. We'll be back with more content, and we'll be back with even more content on our new channel. And thank you again, George, for that. Wouldn't have been possible without you. And you guys will be able to hear more from us separately as individual CC bros, and as we'll be able to do more stuff now. So
Yeah,
just
for the love of God, guys, don't unsubscribe from me. um,
yeah, stay with George. He's done a lot of hard work, and he puts out good content every now and then.
yeah,
Like his Smash video that he's recently got done. Go watch that.
yeah, I need to
It's
make
very
some more.
entertaining.
I need to chop up the videos from House of Pain and post them to a QCC's YouTube as well.
Well, anyway, good night, guys. Have a good one.
Later days.
Later days.
Bye
As soon as
bye.
I stop this broadcast.
You can do it. I believe in you.